welcome to Doucette Field here in Tewksbury, Massachusetts, as we are here for the home opener of the Tewksbury Redmen football season. The Redmen coming in last year, I'm Andrew Del Piano, alongside Bill Gilman here for the 2019 season. And Bill, welcome to a new season of Redmen football.
Thank you, Andrew. Glad to be here this year, and it promises to be an exciting season. And what a great home opener with a traditional MVC rival in Methuen.
And we're expecting a very good game between these two teams, as Tewksbury taking down a D1 school last weekend when they took down the Needham Rockets 32-6 on the road.
Boy, they looked so strong in the opener. The defense looked tremendous, gave up a first possession touchdown, and after that just clamped down. And it's a cliche, but it's true when you talk about Tewksbury. They don't rebuild, they just reload from season to season, and they look like they're going to be a handful for whoever lines up against them, and Methuen's going to have their hands full today. Especially
what we saw with the Redmen losing the D3 Super Bowl last season to Springfield Central at Gillette Stadium, as Bill just said, that they don't rebuild, they just reload, and they're hoping to get back to that position this season with a not new defensive adjustments, but just better, I guess you could say.
And I think one of the big question marks people had coming into the year for this team was at quarterback. They were replacing Conley, who was so strong and such a big game performer, and to come in with Renetta, came in his first game, was 9 of 12, 132 yards, a touchdown pass, no mistakes. Just smooth, and that's a great sign for the Tewksbury offense.
Absolutely, with Rometta just coming into his junior season at the high school after being now the successor to Jay Conley, and what Conley left legacy behind going to that Super Bowl last season. What do you think Rometta has to do to keep up as the successor with Jay Conley was?
Well, the big thing for Rometta is not to try to do too much on his own. He's got a lot of weapons available to him. He's got Aylward available to him. He's got a number of different offensive weapons that showed in that first game. And he just needs to try not to do too much on his own and not make mistakes. And if he can just play smooth, execute, come up with the big third down conversions that need to be made, then he's going to be just fine. And it's like I say, in the first game, he showed that he was ready to go.
And now let's look at the other side of the sideline. While the Methuen Rangers are coached by Tom Ryan, a resident of Tewksbury, Massachusetts, coming into this season, last week he picked up his 37th career victory as the Methuen head coach, a former assistant to Brian Howard here in Tewksbury. And what he saw in his star quarterback, as usual, as Connor Bryant came out firing the ball using both his legs and his arms to lead the Rangers to a 47-14 victory last week over Malden Catholic.
Connor Bryant is one of those dual-threat quarterbacks that it seems is so prevalent in the MVC, and Tewksbury's defense is going to need to stay at home. They're going to need to put pressure. They had 4 sacks last week. They're going to need to put pressure, but you've also got to contain. You're going to have to keep a spy on him. You're going to have to make sure that he doesn't beat you, because he'll tuck it and run. He had 68 yards rushing last week, ran for a couple of touchdowns. And if you can't contain him, he'll burn you.
And Methuen has a lot of threats on offense this season. We saw at the running back position last weekend when Zach Bergeron ran for over 130 yards on that Malden Catholic defense. And now that this is more of a dual-threat offense, the Redmen need to contain these stars on the Methuen side. And how are they going to do that today?
Well, I think that discipline is the key to this defense, and it's always been a key to a Brian Aylward defense. Staying at home, doing your job, not trying to freelance, doing what the defensive assignments call for, and not getting caught out of position. And you're right, with Bergeron, definitely a threat. They've got a couple of real nice receivers, led by Kareem Coleman, that they, if anybody gets caught out of position, if anybody's not doing their job, Methuen can strike quickly. They're a high-octane offense.
And as we welcome the 2019 Tewksbury Redmen football team to the field. The Redmen led this season by Brian Howard, entering his 23rd season as the head coach of the Redmen. He picked up win number 151 in his career last weekend in the win over Needham. Let's see if he can add that today for the Redmen. As we send it over to PA announcer Joel McKenna.
Home opener here at sunny Doucette Field. Today, your Tewksbury Redmen are going to take on the Methuen High School Rangers. This home opener is going to be both teams' NBC Division II or NBC 2 league opener as well. Last week, the Redmen traveled to Needham High School and came away with a 32-6 victory. Methuen notched a victory over Malden Catholic.
So as both teams are taking the field, getting ready for the opening coin toss, as the national anthem will just start in a few bit, as the captains will come out to the center of the field for the coin toss.
One of the things Joel mentioned was sunny Doucette Field, and it is sunny and it is hot. It's going to be 82 degrees at game time, and that means that hydration is going to be a key. Conditioning is going to be a key, and you're going to see potentially some cramping by some of these players.
Absolutely. As you can see, the Redmen captains from left to right on your screen. Number 66, Antonio Capello on the left. Then it goes to number 70, Robbie Kimptis. Then number 23, Tyler Keogh. And number 75, Mike Woodford. And on the end, the man with 3 touchdowns in last week's win, Shane Elward. And the new rule change with this season for the MIA football is the quarters are only 12 minutes now. They've extended from 11 from last season. So just a 4-minute added to these games. So it should be an extra interesting 4 minutes, hopefully, that we see in these games this season. As we'll see the coin toss result from the referee. It looks like Methuen has won the toss and will receive to begin the first half of play, as the Redmen look like they will defend the right side of the field to start the ball game.
We mentioned, we were talking before the game, that Methuen looks jazzed. They look pumped up for this game. A lot of enthusiasm. I think they've circled this game on their calendar after a heartbreaking loss for them last year when these two teams met in Methuen. And they look ready to go. Tewksbury, on the other hand, looks calm, reserved, keeping themselves together, maybe saving some energy. And typical of a Brian Elward team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very, let's say, identical to the Patriots and what they do in their way to keep themselves calm before the game. As we will head over to, back over to Joel McKinnon for the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. by the Tewksbury High School marching band.
And a great national anthem performed by the TMHS marching band to begin the 2019 home opener for the Tewksbury Redmen.
Again, Tewksbury will start out on defense, which tends to be something Brian Aylward likes to do. He likes to make a statement defensively, likes to get that stop, and then have a chance to start the second half with the ball. So we'll see if Tewksbury's defense can make a statement on this first possession against a very talented Methuen offense.
Absolutely, as Tyler Keogh will be doing the kickoff for the Redmen as he moves back to the 35-yard line. As we are ready for the 2019 home opener, as Keogh sends the ball onto the Methuen side. It'll be caught at the 10-yard line by Zach Bergeron. He'll bring it out to the left side. He'll bring it, keep moving, get blockers, and he'll get stopped at around the 19-yard line, as that's where the Methuen Rangers are going to start their first drive on the road.
That's terrific coverage by the Redmen kickoff unit. Bergeron is a dangerous return man. He had a 60-yard punt return for a touchdown last week, but boy, that was great gang tackling.
As we see Connor Bryant for the first time today, had a very good game last week. As we said, a very mobile quarterback, had 68 yards on the ground with a touchdown. He'll get the snap on the shotgun formation. He'll keep it, and then he'll shovel it to the right side. That's Mateo. He'll be shoved out of bounds at around the 29-yard line.
Matt Martino with a nice gain on first down, 9 yards. That's exactly what they're looking for. Keep out of the second and third and long situations.
The Redmen clogged in the middle by captains Woodford and Capello, as Mateo will move in motion from left to right, then back to the left side. And it looks like we have a flag on the play for a false start on Methuen, their first penalty of the game. That'll move them back 5 yards.
Methuen was lined up in a bit of a trick formation. They had Liam Howell, Bryant was set up in the shotgun, but they had Bergeron sprinting in motion, and it looked like maybe he was supposed to get the direct snap, and when he didn't, they got a little bit out of sorts.
And that just caused all confusion, and that'll bring them back 5 yards. And that 9-yard play now only becomes a 5-yard play. Will fake the handoff is Bryant. He'll try to escape into the middle or get clobbered by some Redmen players. And we'll get back to the original line of scrimmage that the Rangers will just at. It'll be third down coming up.
He is close to a first down, but they're not going to measure here. Looks like he's less than a yard, maybe only about a foot from a first down.
Let's see what the Rangers do on offense here as they look over to head coach Tom Ryan for the play call. I'm expecting the Redmen to clog up the inside here, as it is only third and about inches. Brian will take the snap. He'll give the handoff to Mateo, who gets some blockers, will move upfield, and that'll get the Rangers their first down of the ball game at the 40-yard line.
A big hole over right tackle opened up by the Methuen line. Really good blocking and a gaping hole on that side.
That was Jordan Duran moving out to the right side for the Rangers, picking up the key block for Mateo to run through to give the Rangers the first down. Brian will go back into the shotgun formation as he will move Caleb Adams to the left as they'll get the handoff, and Mateo fumbles, but he'll jump right back on top of it. And look who was there getting him. That was number 2, Will McKay, stripping the ball, but Mateo was there right to recover it, but the Rangers will lose significant yards on that play.
Will McKay came roaring in on the left side. Great penetration to blow up that play before it really even got started.
And the Rangers will lose about 5 yards on that play, bringing up a 2nd down and 15. Motioning his receivers. The fake handoff, Brian will move over to the right side. He'll drop it off for number 9, Zach Bergeron, who will only get about 2 yards on that play. A very interesting play call there from the Rangers.
Some misdirection, a lot of moving parts in that setup by Methuen, but again, gang tackling. 4 or 5 guys coming in for Tewksbury all at once to make the play.
Mm-hmm. So 5 wide receivers out for Bryant on this 3rd and long as he'll, looks like a screen pass to the other side. It's caught, and look who's breaking free. It's number 4, Kareem Coleman, but making the big tackle there is number 7, Nolan Timmons, who might have just saved a first down.
He might have saved a first down, definitely, and he might have saved a touchdown because there wasn't anybody between him and the goal line had Coleman been able to break free. So now it's a 4th and 3, and it looks like Methuen's going to go for it early in the game.
As we definitely didn't see the Redmen, they were definitely fooled out by that fake screen to the left as Methuen will go for it on 4th down. Bryant will take the snap. He'll move over to the right. He'll throw it left, and down the middle is number 35, Joey Pinto, and that is a first down for the Rangers.
We talked about Methuen having a lot of weapons. Pinto's one of them, and that was just a pretty pass up the seam to his tight end, and he was wide open. It was a well-executed play, and the drive continues.
Just a rollout right, very effective as he threw it back to the left side of Pinto to pick up a first down, looking at the Redmen 31-yard line. It'll be a handoff to number 9, Zach Bergeron, who only got about a yard on that play. A great stop up front by the Redmen defense.
Oh, a pretty play by Kyle Skrook right in the middle as they were, it looked like he had a hole, and Skrook came from the backside and grabbed hold of his ankle, tripped him up for no gain.
The 2nd down and 10 for the Rangers on the opening drive of the game as they picked up 2 first downs, including a 4th down conversion. Brian will take the snap. He'll run to the right. He'll find a hole. He will get through the middle. He's still on his feet and just short of the goal line. But look at the breaking tackles there from the mobile quarterback.
Yeah, this is what we talked about with Bryant. He really is another running back there. He doesn't run because he has to. He runs because it's part of the game plan. And they have got to have somebody attentive to him, or he's going to do a lot of that.
And so the Rangers will be at the 2-yard line as they fake the handoff. Bryant will keep it himself, and that'll be in the end zone for the Rangers touchdown.
That was, well, it brings up memories of last week where Needham scored on their opening drive, not what Brian Aylward was looking for from his defense. And aside from a 4th down play, that was just too easy. That was a smart march down the field by Methuen.
As we're looking as the upcoming PAT from the Rangers trying to open it up to a 7-0 lead. The snap is down and the kick is good as the Rangers move out to a 7-0 lead just with 6:45 to go in the first quarter of play.
Well, for the second straight week, Tewksbury has put themselves in a bit of a hole early on. That didn't phase them last week. They were able to make adjustments defensively. They're going to need to do that again. But now it'll be up to the offense and Renetta to see if they can answer here in the first quarter.
As we clearly see some of the Redmond players very frustrated on the sidelines after that opening drive.
They had the opportunity, again, that was a 3rd and long, and then the 4th down play. They had a chance to stop them cold, but as soon as they picked up that 1st down, from there on, Methuen, it was like they were running downhill. And a couple of big plays and some broken tackles, and just like that, it's 7-0, 6:45 to go in the first quarter.
And Brian Howard's going to need to find something to stop that Methuen offense, as he cannot see that team go up and down the field all game on this defense. So the Rangers will have their first kickoff of the game, as it is a small little swib kick be taken at the 27-yard line, and that is Shane Elward, who's breaking free through midfield as he's got a blocker downfield. Did he beat him down the sideline? Did he do it again? Yes, he did! A kickoff return, a touchdown for Shane Elward, his 2nd of the season.
Well, that's how you answer it, right there. No flags, a kickoff return for the touchdown, and boy, this is where the scouting comes in. As the kickoff was happening, the Tewksbury receiving team squeezed into the middle. They knew exactly where that little squib kick was going to go. Elward was able to get it on the fly before it hit the ground, and once he broke free of the first line, he was off to the races.
And that was just perfect execution from the Redmen special teams as they answer right back, as Keogh will look to even up the game at 7 apiece. And just 13 seconds after the Rangers score on their opening drive, Elward answers right away. Keogh's extra point is right through the post, and we are even at 7.
Well, that's how you answer. Didn't take a drive, didn't take any offensive plays, just answered right away, and we start from scratch.
It looks like we're going to have to wait a little bit more time until we see the junior quarterback in his 2nd career start for the Redmen, after Shane Elward takes that back about 75 yards to the house to open the Redmen scoring.
And I really can't emphasize enough how key the scouting was. Tewksbury knew exactly where that kick was going to go before it ever left the kicker's foot. They had scouted Methuen, they knew what they did, and you had 3 Redmen on the 2nd line of their return team, all squeezing together to make sure that they fielded it on the fly before it hit the ground and started to squib around, which can cause a lot of problems. Aylward got it, and a beautiful return.
Just perfect execution from the Redmen special teams. That's great scouting, and that's what we saw out of BA right there to even it up at 7. And his defense will look to get another opportunity as we start basically from scratch here at the 6:30 mark of the first quarter, even at 7.
I think the defense is anxious. I think they're glad to get another opportunity quickly after that first drive.
As Keogh will send it deep down the sideline, and that'll go out of bounds. And that flag will be thrown as Methuen will get an advantage to start their opening drive on the kick out of bounds.
That is not what Tyler Keogh was looking to do.
Nope, he was looking to pin them just inside the goal line right there, but it rolls out of bounds, and Methuen will start this drive.
It's going to start them at their own 40.
Yeah, great field position, and definitely something the defense does not want to see right now.
So we'll see. They didn't have a offensive possession to kind of sit back and make their defensive adjustments, but we'll see if in the very short period of time they had, if the defense was able to make some adjustments against this Methuen offense. And I guess, it's the 35.
Yep. So we'll get another look at Connor Bryant, and we're looking to do what he did on the last drive, putting the ball in the end zone for the Rangers. He'll do the handoff to Mateo. Excuse me. He'll gain about 2 or 3 yards on the first play of the drive.
That was a pretty good job done by the defense for Tewksbury, stuffing up that left side, the right side, which is where Methuen really likes to run behind the big offensive lineman on that side of the field.
The Redmen are definitely going to look up to keep a QB spy on him, as Steven Arsenault will do in the middle. Bryan on the keeper again, finds another open hole. Looks like, where are they going to mark him here? They'll mark him at the 45-yard line. Are they going to give him the first down on the play?
Looks like he's going to be just short by about a foot.
And that'll be 3rd and about inches for the Rangers after Bryan gains about 7 on the run.
But that was another big gash on that quarterback keeper, and they've got to find an answer for that.
Definitely, if he explodes for a few more yards there, that's an easy first down. So it'll be 3rd and inches for the Rangers on just their second drive. It'll be the handoff again to Zach Bergeron, who will plunge forward ahead to Redmond territory for the first down.
As the fans can see watching this game, Methuen has multiple weapons. They have already put the ball in the hands either via pass or running the ball of 6 different offensive players. And Tom Ryan has confidence in pretty much everybody he puts out there to make a play.
And that's definitely why we saw them score 47 in the opening game, as it'll be a jet sweep left to Kareem Coleman, who's got room down the left sideline. A great tackle on the sideline there by number 23, Tyler Keogh. But look at Methuen gaining chunks of yards and another first down.
Coleman is a tremendous weapon, both in the running game on plays like that on the sweep and in the passing game. He has got a lot of speed. He may well be the fastest player on the field today.
As they will mark the ball at the Redmond 29 as they're quickly into Redmond territory with another first down. Bryan will take the snap, he'll pump fake, and it'll be looks like a screen pass to the left side to Mateo. And there goes the Rangers again, as looks like they will give him the first down, another 10-yard gain for Methuen, as we're starting to see the defense kind of shut down like they did last drive. Bryan will take the snap. He'll hand it off to the left side, Mateo again, who will be stuffed about 2 yards after the line of scrimmage. Looked like it was led by Owen Gilligan on that play.
I was going to say, Methuen loves to run a lot of the misdirections. Faking the pass to the right, coming back to the left. Little misdirection traps inside. And this is why the Tewksbury defense has got to stay at home and not get caught out of position.
And it's definitely hard to pick all these up with all the misdirections that Connor Bryan uses. As a look over for the signal. And Coleman will motion out wide to the right a little bit more. And the snap is lost at the line of scrimmage. And there's a pile on top. Let's see who they mark it with. And the Redmen have the ball. A bad snap from the Rangers, and it is recovered by number 40, Patrick Fleming, right in the middle there. And that's exactly what the Redmen needed. Pin inside the red zone.
Boy, what a break. What a break for Tewksbury there. And it looked like the snap went to the up back, who was Caleb Adams, but it didn't look like Adams was expecting it. It looked like the center snapped the ball to the up back as kind of, again, a misdirection type of a play. But Adams never looked like he was anticipating the ball at all. As you say, it dropped to the ground. Redmond with the recovery.
And with that, we will see junior quarterback Ryan Rometta at Doucette Field for the first time this season. Hopefully the successor to Jay Conley, who led the Redmen to the Super Bowl last season. Rometta will take the snap. He'll fire it deep down the left sideline to Shane Elward, just out of his reach. And that'll be second down.
Just a step just a step too far on that back shoulder throw, but a good location for the pass where only Aylward could have caught it. It was either going to be Aylward or it was going to be incomplete. So it's where he wanted to throw, just a step too far.
Hopefully we see some good signs out of him here in the home opener, as definitely the Redmen are going to need him to be a huge key point of the season, as the Redmen will line up with Dorigo in the backfield, who had 34 rushing yards last week, and a touchdown. It'll be the shovel to him to the left side, fighting for a few extra yards on that play as Dorigo, as he'll move up to about the 18-yard line.
Boy, Kyle Dorigo, Tyler Keogh and Kyle Dorigo are the two. They're not the two biggest players on the field, but boy, they are tough as nails. And if you're going to take down Kyle Dorigo, you better hold on tight, because he does not go down easy.
And he is a man that fights for extra yardage for this team, and a big part of why the Redmen are so successful. So Romero will line up in the shotgun formation with Kalu Olu in the backfield on this 3rd down and 6 for the Redmen. Romero will take the snap, fake the handoff to Olu. He'll roll out right, and it's almost intercepted by number 2, Ben Cadet, but there is a flag down on the play, and let's see what the call is on this one.
I'm going to say it's roughing the passer. I did not see the play, but it looks like from where it was thrown that this could be a personal foul against Methuen and a 1st down for Tewksbury to keep the drive going.
Well, the marker being in the backfield definitely makes sense for a call like that, and let's see what the call is. And it is roughing the passer on the Rangers, as Romero was hit late after the play. And that'll be an automatic 1st down for the Redmen to keep the drive alive.
Boy, that's a huge break for Tewksbury. It was a nice pass, but Ben Cadet with an absolutely beautiful defensive play to break it up. But it goes for naught as Tewksbury gets the 1st down on the penalty.
And we've seen some early breaks from the Redmen in this one, especially on a play like that, including the fumble just inside the red zone that we just saw a few moments ago.
Well, and this is the type of a break you need to take advantage of. Now you need to move the ball, get some 1st downs, let your defense rest a little bit.
As we're about 2 minutes to go here in the 1st quarter of play, Romero will line up under center for this one. It'll be a shovel pass to the left side to Dorigo again, who will push forward to about the 37-yard line of the Redmen. Gain about 3 yards on that play to bring up 2nd down for the Redmen.
Tewksbury again, it seems every year, they've got multiple offensive weapons as well. They'll run 4 or 5 different backs during the course of the game, will carry the ball. Tough to focus on any one individual.
And now we see the big junior running back in the backfield, Kalu Olu, who will get the handoff on this one, but is stuffed in the backfield. And what a great defensive play by number 51, Leslie Theodore, for the Rangers' defensive line.
Leslie Theodore is a big man, 260 pounds, over 6 feet tall, and he is going to be difficult to handle on that side of the line, and he got great penetration. But a bit of a break. His helmet came off on the play, which meant that he has to come out for at least one play. So he is not going to be on the field for this 3rd and 9.
Hopefully the Redmen can take advantage of that as we hear the Let's Go Redmen chant from the Redmen student section just to the left of us. We'll bring up 3rd down and 9 for the Redmen on the first offensive drive that we'll see of them this season, as Aylward returned a 75-yard kickoff after the Ranger touchdown. As the play will be called dead, as it looks like Brian Aylward has called a timeout before the snap.
This is a big play on 3rd and 9, and Aylward clearly did not like what he saw defensively for Methuen. This is one of those situations where, as you mentioned before the game, Tom Ryan coached here as an assistant. for several years. He lives in Tewksbury. He taught in the Tewksbury school system. And Brian Elward and Tommy Ryan know each other extremely well. And it's going to be hard for either one of them to really fool the other one. They know each other's tendencies. They know each other's schemes. And in this situation, Brian Elward saw what was there defensively, didn't like it, and called one of his 3 timeouts.
So we'll see what the Redmen do here on the 3rd and 9 upcoming for them after the called timeout, as we do see number 51, Leslie Theodore, come back into the defensive huddle for the Rangers, as we saw him make that big stop earlier on first down. So let's see if the Redmen can contain him on 3rd down. Rometta will take the snap. It'll be Tyler Keogh with the ball, and he runs down the right sideline and will get the first down. Very interesting play call for the Redmen with the double jet sweep, and that'll be a first down.
Tyler Keogh hitting that hole and making the most of it to get the first down at midfield. Tewksbury taking advantage of Methuen's aggression up front. This time a little misdirection by Tewksbury and caught Methuen out of position.
And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. It is the Tewksbury Redmen 7 and the Methuen Rangers 7 here on opening day of the Redmen 2019 home season.
Tewksbury 7 here at Busa Field.
That was a big first down for Tewksbury to get, again, give their defense a breather, let them stay off the field for a while. And also, Methuen's got some big men up front. They've got a few guys who are well over 200 pounds. It's a hot day, and the longer they can keep guys like Leslie Theodore and Jordan Duran is another one. Junior Galen is another one. The longer they can keep them on the field, the better on a hot day like today. So you keep the drive going, you keep moving, move the chains, and that's going to be a plus for the Tewksbury offense.
So the teams will switch ends, as Methuen will now be defending the right side of the field, as the Redmen will start the second quarter at the 50-yard line with the first down after the Tyler Keogh run to end the first quarter. Rometta will hand it off to Kaluolu, who will keep his feet moving, but won't go anywhere, as he only gained about 2 or 3 yards on first down.
Kaluolu has a lot of fun to watch as a back because, as you said, he just keeps his legs moving. He's always looking to break tackles. He's always looking to get that extra yard or two, and he holds on to the ball with both hands. He is not one who is prone to be loose with the ball, which is great.
Definitely the reason why we saw him average over 9 yards per carry in the win over Needham last week. Just keeps the feet moving. And with a big upper body like that, he can just plow through the defensive line. As Elward will get the handoff in this play, will break through the hole, and that'll get a first down for the Redmen.
And this time you saw Kaluolu as the lead blocker out of the fullback slot, and it was a nice big hole for Elward. And he's got such explosive speed that he was into the defensive backfield very quickly.
As we saw a great hole open up on the left side by Robbie Kimptis and Antonio Capello, the captains for the Redmen this season, as they are now into Methuen territory with a first down at the 36-yard line. With 3 receivers out wide, as Markworth will move back into the tight end position. Rometta will go back under center. And it'll be a shovel pass to Elward, who will get down the right side. Looks like he gained right at the first down marker. Let's see if they give him the first down on this.
It looks like they are going to give him the first down.
As the signal from the back judge is giving them the first down.
So they go to the left side with Aylward, then they go to the right side with Aylward, and they get big holes on both. So they're staying away from the big man, Theodore, who's right in the middle. They're staying away, working the corners.
And those pitch plays hopefully are going to be very successful for the Redmen in this ball game, as Rometta will take the high snap, look left. It's just out of the reach of Tyler Keogh on that one.
Ryan Renetta would like to have that one back for sure, because Keogh was wide open and he just threw it behind him. So second down and 10.
We haven't seen the best of starts so far for Rometta throwing the ball, but this run game hopefully has been keeping up with pace to get the Redmen in good field position for this drive so far. First home game might be a little jitters for Rometta, as the Redmen look like they'll flip the play on this one, as they'll send 3 receivers to the left side, including Keogh. They'll take the snap out of the shotgun. It'll be a jet sweep to the right side to Kyle Dorigo, who's got the right sideline down, will spin off a hit, and will be down at the 15-yard line, and that'll give the Redmen another first down.
Again, the misdirection. You saw when they shifted the receivers all to the left side, the Methuen defensive line shifted themselves all in that direction, and as a result, when they ran the misdirection to the right for Dorigo, there was nobody there.
You can start to see the Methuen defense, hands on the hips. They're getting tired in this drive, as this drive has been going on for a while for the Redmen, as they'll hand the ball off to Olu again through the middle. Powering through, and he will get in the end zone. Kalu Olu picks up his first touchdown of the season, and the Redmen have the lead for the first time in the ball game.
Boy, what a pretty run up the gut, and you called it. You were prophetic. Methuen was looking tired, and what you saw on that play was arm tackling from 2 or 3 different players, and you are simply not going to take down Kalulu with arm tackling. He's too big, too strong.
A perfectly executed run there from the Redmen to get the lead with 9:12 remaining in the second quarter. Keogh's second extra point attempt of the ball game. The snap is down, and it gets through the uprights, as that barely slipped through the bottom half, and that'll give the Redmen the 14-7 lead.
Not the prettiest extra point that Tyler Keogh has ever kicked, but it was effective.
I don't know if Ranger D lineman might have got a hand on it, or if he just hit it low and just hit a line drive, but either way, it's a point, and the Redmen have the 7-point lead.
I think this will be a big series of downs for the Tewksbury defense, because short of that fumble the last time Methuen had the ball where they stopped themselves, Tewksbury has not been able to stop them so far. And they've had a bit of a break, they've had a bit of a rest, and the Tewksbury defense is going to have to show that they can stop this Methuen offense. And so far, that hasn't happened.
Especially what we saw from the fumble recovery, the Redmen catching a huge break on that missed snaps from the Rangers offense, a mistake that we rarely see from this team with so many offensive weapons. As Keogh will send the ball long, it will be caught. Oh, it's over the head of number 4, Kareem Coleman. He'll pick it back up. He'll try to find some extra yardage after that, and we'll move up to about the 25-yard line.
It looked like it hasn't been much of a breeze, and all of a sudden the breeze kicked up, and it looked like it fooled Coleman a little bit, but he caught a break that the ball bounced right back into his hands.
Definitely, he was not expecting the breeze at the last second, as it completely sailed over his head, but luckily to pick it back up and gain some yards on that return. And as we'll get to see the Redmen defense try to prove themselves after mostly getting beaten up for these first 2 offensive drives from the Rangers. So back on the field is Connor Bryant, who had the rushing touchdown earlier to give the Rangers the lead early in the first quarter. He'll fake the handoff. He'll keep the ball after jump over some linemen, and will gain about 5 yards to the 30-yard line.
He showed a little bit of his athleticism there with the the hurdle over the mass of humanity in front of him, makes a positive play out of it.
Second down from Methuen.
So Methuen will line up with two backs in the backfield with a receiver on both sets sides, as Bryant will have the keeper again try to find space up the middle, but is taken down by number 43, Riley Oth, on that play.
Yeah, that was a nice play defensively. You had guys staying at home, and they didn't bite on the motion, and they were able to hold it to just a couple of yards.
So it'll bring up a big third down, and let's see if the Redmond defense can stop them on this one. The Rangers have converted one of two third down conversions in the ballgame. Bryant will take the snap. He'll hand it off. Up the middle is Mateo, and that is a first down as the Rangers keep finding holes in the run game.
That was again over that right side, which is their seems like their favorite spot to run behind. Theodore's on that side. They've got another big lineman, Anthony Romano, lined up over there at the tight end spot. And every time they've run that way, they've wound up with big yardage.
So first down for the Rangers as they convert on another third down. Bryant will take the snap, fake the handoff, look to the right side, will get through a hole, will stay on his feet after the broken tackle, will move up to the Redmond 49-yard line.
Yeah, that's Junior. That was right behind Junior Galen, who is just a sophomore. No, he's a senior, but he is another one of those big linemen that they've got, and again, big chunks of yards.
And what Methuen here is doing very well is they're running the ball, taking time off the clock, and not letting it get in the hands of the Redmen, as it'll screen pass to the outside to Kareem Coleman as he breaks a tackle through the middle. And he is into the end zone. Almost lost some energy on that final stretch, but gets in the end zone either way, and the Rangers have a chance to tie the ball game midway through the second quarter.
Boy, there you saw some of the speed of Kareem Coleman, where he took that little bubble screen, again, misdirection, a little pump fake to the left side by Bryant, came back to the bubble screen on the left, and Coleman breaking a tackle and then showing that speed to the end zone.
Very impressive drive from the Rangers again as they put the ball in the end zone for the second time this game with the offense, as the kick through the uprights is good, as the Rangers have evened the ball game at 14 apiece with 6:47 to go in the first half.
So far, the Methuen offense has been as advertised. A lot of weapons, excellent execution, and just that one mistake, that one error. But outside of that, they have been lethal. They are going to be, knowing how good the Tewksbury defense is, this Methuen offense has shown that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the MVC this year.
And what we've definitely seen is the missed presence of the middle of Connor Nugent and Trace Trant from last season, as they were big helpers of stopping the run game, and the Redmen just haven't seemed to have done that so far in this game.
No, they've been getting manhandled up front, and it's going to potentially take some risk-taking, some blitzing in order to try to stop the run. And of course, then that puts you at risk for the passing game, which they've got a very dangerous passing game too. But you got to stop the run first, and so far they just haven't been able to do it.
And Methuen probably on their next following drive will look to maybe run a few play-action passes to show run, and then if the Redmen blitz, then they'll get them there. As we are back on the kickoff here, as the Rangers will send it to the Redmen, tied at 14. And it's another squib kick recovered by the Redmen at about the 42-yard line.
Boy, that was a classic squib kick, almost an onside kick, where they didn't use a tee. They set up the ball literally right on the ground, and he just zipped a little ground ball But it was a great job of gathering it in, falling on it, and the Redmen are in great field position.
And Jake Kaiser, number 22, with the recovery on that, doing a great job of holding on to it, getting down as quickly as possible for the Redmen offense to get back on the field, as we've seen Rometta struggle a little bit in the passing game. Let's see if he can pick it up on this drive. He'll take the snap. It'll be a handoff to Dorigo as two flags are thrown on the play. He'll look to get to the outside. He'll gain about, looks like he just barely got back to the line of scrimmage, as we'll see what the flags are thrown for on the play. So the Redmen are caught with an illegal shift on that play. Bring them back a few yards as they'll replay first down.
And a fumble by the referee.
Second fumble of the day.
That's going to push the Redmen back 5 yards.
So the Redmen will lose 5 yards on the illegal shift. It'll be 1st and 15 as it pushes them back to the 37.
Not necessarily a big problem for the Redmen because Dorigo got horse-collared for no gain on that play.
As they might have picked up the other flag, or both referees saw the illegal shift on that play, as the Redmen will go 5 out with Rometta alone in the backfield. It'll be a bubble screen to the right side to Shane Elward, who will break a tackle on the right side. He's still on his feet to the right and will get hammered out of bounds by Ben Cadet.
Boy, he has got such quick feet. Quick feet. Just dodging. He looked like he was going to get taken down for about a 2-yard gain, and instead he turns it into a 10-yard gain, and now it's second and manageable for Tewksbury.
And a big 10-yard gain on 1st and 15 to only cut it to 2nd and 5 on this play. So very good play call and great awareness from the father-son combo on that play. Rometta will take the snap, roll out right, look for some room, and he is eaten up in the backfield by number 54, Josiah Concepcion, on the great play in the backfield.
Josiah Concepcion was, you could almost see the look in Rometta's face when he started to move, that he saw Concepcion staring at him, and he knew there was a problem. Concepcion got right in the backfield from that left end position and just blew it up before it ever got a chance to get going.
And the Redmen will lose about 6 yards on that play, as looked like more of a QB scramble on that play. Not very effective, as the Redmen will come up on this play 3rd and 11. And before the snap is taken, Brian Elward wants to take another look at what he's about to insert as he takes his second time out at the half.
This is a big play right now because with 4:31 to go in the half, Tewksbury's in a position where if they can keep the drive alive, they might be able to burn out the rest of the clock in this quarter. But if they have to kick it away, now you're putting the ball in the hands of a Methuen offense with about 4 minutes to go that you have not stopped yet. So this is a big play for the Redmen right here on 3rd and 11, and it's maybe an early test to see for Ryan Rometta to see if he can convert on a big 3rd down play.
Definitely, like Bill just said about giving the ball back to the Ranger offense, you definitely don't want to see that after how lethal they've been in this first half with 14 points on the 2 or 3 drives that they've been on. So Rometta will be in the shotgun with Olu in the backfield, reading the defense in the middle. He'll move Olu to the left side. He'll take the snap. It'll be a throw over to Kalu on the left side, and that will go incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Methuen came on the blitz right up the gut with Anthony Romano leading the way right up the middle, and Rometta had to get rid of that ball probably a little bit before he wanted to, which is too bad because he had Olu had some space over on the left side.
And it looks like Elward will send out the punt unit, as it looks like Shane Elward will be doing the punting as the Rangers have 2 return men back. It is Zach Bergeron and Matt Martino for the Rangers. Snap is over Aylward's head, and he's got to go retrieve it and then punt it. And it'll go down the right sideline. Won't get a few extra bounces. It'll be touched down by number 53, Ryan Day. And the Rangers are going to start the drive at about the 39-yard line on their own side of the field.
Boy, what a terrific play by Shane Aylward. He did not lose his composure. It was a bad snap over his head. A million things could have gone wrong there. And he didn't. He just kept his composure, got a punt off, and was able to get about a 20-yard punt or so. So at least Methuen starting on their side of the field.
That could have turned into a lot worse situations, but the senior captain remained calm and punted the ball to the Rangers side of the field. As here comes Connor Bryant again with under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. See if he can add some extra points for the Rangers. It'll be a toss up the middle to Mateo, and he'll gain about 5 on that, bringing up second down.
Again, that little misdirection play, that little trap to the right side that they like to run, and good first down yardage for the Rangers.
Martino bringing the ball up to the 45.
So it'll be second down upcoming for the Rangers. Brian will take the snap, he'll run to the right, and it is thrown backwards, picked up by Mateo, and somehow, some way, he's going to get a first down on that play. Just wow. And a flag coming down at the end. As you see Mateo down on the Methuen sideline, it looks like we're going to get an unnecessary roughness call on the Redmen.
I think you're right. I think it was they're going to call a hit out of bounds on that side. And unfortunately, Matt Martino did lose that ball initially, and they had an opportunity to get him in the backfield, but instead he turns it into a big gain, and now it looks like a horse collar is what they're calling over there. And that's going to be a 15-yard penalty against the Redmen.
And Martino getting attention on the Methuen sideline as he was hobbling his way to the ground there. And let's see what the Rangers can do without their star running back for right now.
Yeah, this is going to put the Rangers down to about the 30-yard line and really put the Redmen right up against the wall with 3 minutes to go in the half.
As Connor Bryant will motion Mateo from left to right as he'll take the handoff, fake the play action. He's looking deep down the left sideline, and it is caught by number 4, Kareem Coleman, for the Ranger touchdown.
What a tremendous job by Bryant on that play, because he got absolutely drilled as he got rid of the ball. He took a brutal shot. I think that might have been Danny Fleming coming in on the blitz, who just planted him, but he got it off. A nice throw. Coleman went high and hauled it in for the touchdown.
And he had a very nice catch over Tyler Keogh there to give the Rangers the lead, to regain the lead after taking the 7-0 lead to begin the ball game. Let's see if they can add on to the lead on the extra point. The ball is down. It's more of a pop-up kick, and it is missed over the right upright. So the Rangers will only get 6 points on the possession.
Brian Jacinto, the sophomore, who made his first 2 PATs fairly easily, as you say, kind of got underneath it, kind of shanked it a little bit. And we'll see if that winds up coming to haunt the Rangers later in this game. But boy, I'll tell you, 20-14, 2:47 to go. Tewksbury certainly has plenty of time to get back on the board, and this game is starting to resemble last year's slugfest in Methuen that came down to the wire and was basically check your defense at the door, and last team to have the ball would win the game. So this is right now. Looks like it's just going to be the 2 offenses going at it.
So it's looked like if the Redmen can hopefully plan this out a little bit with 2:47 to go in the half, as they will receive the second half kickoff as well. So if they can put some points up on the board here and then answer with the ball in the second half, that'll be very big for them in kind of flipping this game on Methuen, as they want to keep that ball away from that lethal offense that has put 20 points on the board so far.
Now, Methuen has been trying very hard so far to keep the ball away from Shane Aylward. Aylward has lined up in some different spots in the return team. Now he's playing back. It'll be interesting to see what they do on this kickoff.
As the Redmen moving up a little bit is a long kick, and Keogh will catch it about the 3-yard line of the Redmen. He's got lots of open field, and he's got room to the right side. He'll fall down at about the Redmen 25-yard line, a return at about 22 yards.
In that situation, Methuen was able to get the better of the guessing game, as they did on the first kickoff. Tewksbury pinched. They thought it was going to be a little pooch kick, and they pinched all of their guys into the middle and only kept Keogh back. And he was able to make a nice over-the-shoulder catch on that, and made a nice return.
So the Redmen will start the drive at the 25-yard line, as Methuen will call their first timeout at the half. So it looks like we might have a problem with the clock right now, as it is saying 20 seconds left in the half. It is about 2 minutes to go in the half. As there we go, we said it's back to 2 minutes. The Rangers use their first time out of the half.
It'll be interesting to see how Brian Aylward goes about these last 2 minutes. He is not one who tends to be conservative, and despite the fact that Methuen's offense has not been stopped yet, it wouldn't surprise me to see him take some risks here, to take some chances, throw the ball downfield, and try to get the tying score.
Thing is he going to trust his junior quarterback in his first home game of his career, as 2:20 now shows on the game clock to start the drive for the Redmen. Rometta, it's a high snap. He does catch it. He'll have to roll out to the right, throw it down the sideline, intended for Kalu Olu, but is defended away by Ben Cadet.
Big Leslie Theodore, the 260-pounder nose tackle, right in his face. He did a nice job getting away and at least being able to try to make a play on that.
And the Redmen have to do something on this offensive line between Antonio Capello and Steven Arsenault of what they can do to contain. I don't even know if you can contain a man of this magnitude.
Yeah, Antonio Capello is really, he's got his hands full. He is outsized right up the middle, and he's got his hands full.
And it's a high snap, and Rometta jumps right on it and has to fall to the ground. And Capello's snap, maybe he was a little afraid of the man that was lined up right across from him.
Yeah, and that's now a few tough snaps for Capello. And as a matter of fact, he's coming over to the sidelines right now as Methuen calls a timeout. It's a tough situation when you're snapping into the shotgun or on a punt, and you've got a big man like that opposite you, and you know you have to get into position quickly. Sometimes you rush it just a little bit because you don't want to get caught out of position, and that can lead to mistakes. And he's looking at Anthony Capello on the sidelines right now. He is frustrated. He is upset, and he'll have to make some adjustments in the second half. But there's certainly no shame in running into problems against a nose tackle like Leslie Theodore.
So it'll be 3rd and 20 for the Redmen. A situation that they mostly have to play out here is, I guess, run the ball here and force Methuen to use another timeout. But it's just a tough situation you see here, where Methuen's offense might get another chance with just about 90 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah, I think that what you're going to see here is Brian Aylward telling his quarterback, look to make a play, but don't don't take a giant risk, because you do not want to turn over here. Potentially go into the half down 1 touchdown. You don't want to go in down 2.
So there's a new man under center. That is number 51, Steven Arsenault, under center for the Redmen, as Antonio Capella will take a play off. Rometta will drop back to throw, find Shane Elward over the middle, who will break a few tackles, will stiff arm, will be down the right sideline, will pick a first down, and look at the athleticism of Shane Elward on that play. But there is a marker down on the field at the 39-yard line.
Oh boy, that would be unfortunate. They're looking like holding right now at the 39, so they'll replay. They'll get some yardage out of this, but oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it's an illegal block in the back from one of the Redmen players on that, and unfortunately, the Redmen will not gain the first down on that off the penalty.
Now, they're not going to, as you said, it was 3rd and 20. They're not going to lose everything. They're going to mark it off on the 39. It'll get back down to about the 29. So you're going to be looking at about a 3rd and 7 here. So that's a manageable down and distance. But boy, what a nice play. Rometta delivered it to a wide open Aylward. And then it's just so much fun watching Shane Aylward make people miss.
Absolutely, and he's got that lethal stiff arm that we just saw twice on that play. So it looks like we might have some clock management here from the referee, from the booth. It'll be an upcoming 3rd and 7 for the Redmen. They're waiting for the referee signal. I'm waiting for his signal.
Looks like they're going to put about 5 seconds back on the clock.
Back.
It's making it 1 minute 40 seconds instead of 1:35.
So it'll be, again, a 3rd and 7 upcoming for the Redmen as soon as they fix the clock in the booth. And as Rometta just waiting in the backfield, waiting to snap it.
It's hard to figure out who this little delay benefits more, the offense or the defense. But both of them are having a chance to take a good hard look at the other.
So Rometta will take the snap out of the shotgun and throw it over the middle to Shane Elward, just short. And another marker has been thrown on the field.
And that looks like it's going to be a chop block. That's a personal foul. This is going to be interesting to see. They're probably going to decline it to get the ball back. But they could look to push them.
Yeah, it is a chop block on the Redmen, and like you said, it will be declined. And a 4th and 7 will come up for the Redmen as the punting team will come onto the field.
That's going to bring up 4th down for the Redmen.
Yeah, Tommy Ryan on that had a chance to push them way back, but decided not to take the risk. He wants to put the ball back in the hands of his offense as quickly as possible. And frankly, why wouldn't you? The way his offense has been playing.
And Connor Bryan at the helm of this offense today has been destroying, is a good word to use it. As Elward, a nice high punt into the air. It'll take a very good Redmen bounce on the Methuen side of the field. It'll be touchdown at about the 27-yard line of Methuen, and that's where they're going to start this drive with 1:25 to play in the first half.
This is now a critical minute and a half for the Tewksbury Redmen defense. They're going to get the ball to start the second half kickoff, but they have got to find a way to keep this Methuen offense off the board and keep it just a one-score game.
I mean, if the Rangers can find a way to go into this half with a 2-score lead, they'd be in perfect position to keep the lead for, hopefully, as they see it, the remainder of the game. But definitely a big drive here to end the first half as it's dropped back to throw by Bryant, thrown over the middle. It is caught by Mateu, who is back on the field as we saw of the injury, as Rangers looking to be in no hurry right here to get the snap, as the clock is now at 1:05.
Right, they did not get the first down, so the clock did not stop.
Bryant taking the snap. He'll drop back way,
It's gonna be a
way back. Thrown and is dropped on the hands of Kareem Coleman. As we're looking at a flag right now in the field as the referee is pointing at a hold on Methuen. As
that whole play looked odd. It looked like they were trying to suck in the defense for a screen, but there were really no blockers for the screen, and then they had the holding call.
And really the only option Bryant saw in that play was to throw it over the middle to his star receiver, but he couldn't even hang on to it. But kind of miscommunication on that play from the Ranger offense.
So now 50 seconds to go, and Methuen needs to be operating with some urgency here.
Maybe if they just take the route where, we just want to go into the half with the lead, but I don't see Tom Ryan's offense doing this right now with 50 seconds to go. As a false start looking like it will be called in this play, it will be. And the Rangers are going to be pushed back another 5 yards.
Well, so far in this first half, the only thing that has stopped the Methuen offense has been the Methuen offense with penalties and with that fumble early in the first quarter. And right now, Tewksbury benefiting from back-to-back penalties against Methuen.
And unless Methuen can get a huge gain on this one to get them in a scoring position, I don't see them doing anything on this drive, as penalties have really killed them on this one. Bryant will fake the handoff, keep it himself, run up the middle. And we'll get marked down at about the 32-yard line as the clock continues to tick, as we are down to 15 seconds to go in the half.
As William McKay with the takedown of Bryant.
It looks like that's going to be it. Methuen looks like they're going to be content to go into halftime with the 6-point lead.
You see they are not intended to snap the ball. And that'll do it for the end of the first half. And at the end of one half here at Doucette Field on the home opener for the Tewksbury Redmen, the Rangers have the 20-14 lead over the Tewksbury Redmen. We'll be back for the second half of play.
We're ready. So if you want to announce us, our show is called The Jazz Experiment.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for our halftime enjoyment, the Tewksbury Marching Band and Color Guard are going to give us a wonderful performance. It is called The Jazz Experiment.
All right, fans, and welcome back to the second half of action here at Doucette Field in a MVC matchup between the Methuen Rangers and the Tewksbury Redmen. After one half of play, the Rangers had the 20-14 lead over the Redmen. It is the Redmen's home opener in the 2019 football season. I'm Andrew Delpiana, joined by Bill Gimlin on a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Tewksbury, Massachusetts, as the Redmen will receive the ball to start the second half of play.
This opening drive of the second half for Tewksbury is going to be a big one for them because to this point, they have not shown the ability to stop the Methuen offense. The Rangers rolled up 255 yards of total offense in that first half, and it's going to be up to the Tewksbury offense to try to keep up with them. And if they can get a tying or go-ahead touchdown here to start, well, that would be the choice that they would want to do before they put the ball back in the hands of the Rangers.
And it was a tough first half for junior quarterback Ryan Romero, only 30 yards passing through the air on 2 of 6 completions. He's going to get a chance in the second half to see if he can turn that around and try to give the Redmen the lead to start the second half, as they will get the ball first.
And on the other hand, Methuen quarterback Connor Bryant has been as advertised, a dual threat, 8 of 8 passing, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 8 rushes for 73 yards. So over 200 yards of total offense just by himself. And 3 receptions for wide receiver Kareem Coleman for 90 yards and both of the touchdowns.
So the Redmen, as we said, will receive the ball to start the second half of play. As lining up in their formation, they do have a kickoff return earlier in the ball game. Sean Elward, the second time he's done that this season. He did it last week against the Needham Rockets. It'd be big if he could pull that off again right now, as the Rangers will send the ball off to the Redmen. Another squib kick that is recovered in great field position by the Redmen by number 34, Cam Samino.
Yeah, the Rangers really want to keep the ball out of Aylward's hands, but on the other hand, a squib kick, an onside kick like that, gives the ball to the Redmen near midfield.
And my question is, like you said, keeping the ball out of Shane Elward, but giving them great field position at the 47-yard line. Tom Ryan must really trust this defense and how they're playing right now.
Absolutely.
So Romero will start under center the first drive of the second half. He'll take the snap. It's a pitch play to the outside of the Stars. Shane Elward almost gets tripped up, is still on his feet, and he will be tackled at his shoelaces and will gain about a yard on after all that, as there is a Redman down. But Steve Arsenault, like he's getting right back to his feet, stretching it out a little bit, but he is okay.
That was Anthony Romano, who had 16 tackles last week for the Rangers. He really blew up that play coming in hard from his linebacker position. And it was Aylward managed to get a yard or 2 out of it, and it looked like it was going to be a loss.
Romano, a very talented linebacker out of Methuen that has hopefully a great future here for the rest of this season. Romero will take the snap under center again. Another handoff to Elward, who has room on the left side, and will get bunched up by a few Rangers players right in the middle there, but they'll give him forward progress for the first down, as the Redmen have their first down of the second half.
That was a nice cutback. Methuen was coming on the blitz up the middle, and Aylward managed to do a quick little hop step to the left side and found the hole over left tackle.
So the Redmen have a 1st and 10 now in Methuen territory, as we are still yet to see Antonio Capello under center. Must have been replaced, as Steve Arsenault is the new center for this drive so far. Romero, the handoff right there to Kyle Dorigo, somehow slips out of the tackle for Romano, but is still taken down in the backfield. And that is number 22, Andrew Downey, to take down Dorigo.
But you said it was Romano blasting through on his blitz from the middle linebacker position, who met Dorigo 3 yards deep in the backfield. they're going to have to account for him coming up the gut, because when you put him coming up in that A gap right next to Leslie Theodore, that is a lot of problems for the Tewksbury guards and an Arsenal at center to try to deal with.
And what the Redmen are trying to execute right now are trying to find a way to get past that 4-3 that the Rangers are running with 3 linebackers. So Remetta with 5 receivers out wide. It'll be a long second down as he takes the snap right through the hole. He'll roll out right, and it is caught by Shane Elward. That was almost intercepted by Junior Glennon as he almost picked that off.
What a nice job by Remetta on that play, rolling out to his right. He had Hosea Concepcion coming in hard on him, and he made a nice pass to Aylward along the sidelines.
And a great catch by Shane on there to give them another first down at the 31-yard line of Methuen as they are chugging along on this drive right now. Remetta looking good so far to open the second half. He'll take the snap under center. He'll fake the handoff. He's looking downfield to Elward, and it is out of reach. Elward is looking for a flag on the play, but he will not get one. So the referee is deemed that was too far out of the possession of the star wideout.
The Aylward was covered tight along the sidelines and actually kind of got forced out of bounds along the way, which is why I think he was hoping for a flag. But as you said, the referees decided the ball was uncatchable.
So it'll be a second down and 10 from the Redmen from the same spot at the 31. Remetta back under center with Dorigo Olu in the backfield. Motion left is Gilligan, and Dorigo will get the handoff to the left, bullying through a few defenders, and will be taken down. Looking like they'll mark him at the 26. Brings up third down for the Redmen.
If there were any justice in the world, Kyle Dorigo would be about 6 feet tall, 215 pounds, because boy, does he run square up. He doesn't try to avoid anybody. He just tries to run through them. He just runs hard every time he gets the ball.
Very fearless runner that has been very, very important to this running game of the Redmen, especially when we saw last season. He's carrying it into today. As it was just Olu in the backfield with Remetta with 3 receivers out wide, including Dorigo in the slot on the right. Remetta takes the snap, and it is tipped out of bounds. Did Keogh come down with it? They're giving it a catch. What a catch by Tyler Keogh after it was tipped at the line of scrimmage. And that'll give the Redmen, it is the first down.
Boy, Romano got his hands up. He was kind of back in coverage. He got his hands up, got it tipped up in the air, but Keogh kept his poise and kept his concentration and hauled it in. What a nice play.
And the Redmen convert again on third down, another first down, as they are now entered the red zone at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Remetta, it's a pitch play to Aylward on the right, a cutback, another cutback, as he will be taken down at around the 12-yard line, got about 8 on the first down run.
They caught a break on that. It was a nice run by Aylward, but Romano again was in the backfield. Not only did he nearly nail Aylward for a loss, he almost caught that pitch. And if he had, he was headed in the other direction. So they caught a break on that one.
Romano, a very, very tough player to handle in the middle of the field, as, like Bill just said, almost taking the act the other way. Aylward will get the handoff left, but he's met by a lot of Rangers in white. But looks like he powered through to get the first down, as it'll be 1st and goal from the Redmen, for the Redmen, at about the 9-yard line.
This is a terrific drive. It's already eaten up 5.5 minutes of the clock, and so far the best defense for the Redmen has been their offense, to keep the Rangers offense off the field.
And I think that's what Brian Howard is thinking in this half, is to preserve the clock and kind of just keep handing it off with these short yard games. Especially that's what they did last season with Jack Kelly in the backfield, now that he has graduated from TMHS.
Lou looks like he got down, Kalua looks like he got down to about the 5-yard line on that for a second down and goal to go. And you have to think they're going to be trying to just pound it in here.
They do have Olu at the fullback position with Shane Elward in the backfield along with him. They'll move to Rigo in motion. Romero looked like he stumbled a little bit on the handoff. Somehow Elward looked like he slipped through back to the line of scrimmage after being taken down in the back. Looked like he was about to be taken down in the backfield.
You're right. There was just a little bit of a mistiming on that. Jordan Duran, the defensive tackle for Methuen, came in, got a hand on Elward, slowed him down, but the timing was just a bit off on the play.
So it'll be 3rd and goal to go for the Redmen. Looks like they're about the 5-yard line. Let's see what Rometta can do on this 3rd down. Try to put the ball in the end zone for the Redmen. He'll take the shotgun snap. It's a low snap, and Rometta will just have to fall on it. Another costly error for the Tewksbury Redmen with another bad snap.
That is a very costly play, because instead of potentially a 4th and goal from the 5 or the 4, and now they're looking at 4th and goal from the 11, which definitely changes the complexion of the play. And the Redmen offense staying on the field, they're going to go for it.
It's not like they will take Keogh on the field for the field goal. They have to put it in the end zone on this play right here. Rometta will take the snap. It's a fade throw to Elward, and it is just dropped in the corner of the end zone. A great defensive play by number 2, Ben Cadet. We've been saying his name a lot. He's been big on defense today.
He has. He's made some very big plays for the Rangers so far. And we're looking at a Ranger player injured, and that is once again Matt Martino, who is putting no weight at all on that right, and he's going to go down on that right ankle. I didn't see what happened, but Martino is definitely hurt.
Second time we've seen him gone down in this game, as he was taken out with an ankle injury earlier in the game.
So going back to that play, they tried the fade. It's one of their favorite pass plays in the red zone, and Elward was there, but Cadet just made a nice play on it. It was a good pass, but it was a better defensive play, and the Rangers now take over.
It was a great play call. You got Shane Elward, your star receiver, one-on-one against Ben Cadet. But Cadet making a great play, putting his hands up at the last second to not cause pass interference on that either. As looks like Martino being helped off the field by coaches.
Yeah, that looks like it's a significant injury. I think we've probably seen the last of Matt Martino today. But as we've noted throughout the game, they've got a lot of weapons offensively.
So with Martino being down, as we see him towards the back of the Methuen sideline, he's going to get attention from the trainer. So Methuen will go back on offense after the Redmen failed to convert on 4th and goal, as we get to see Connor Bryant another time. He'll get the direct snap to him. It's a keeper. He's got lots of room to the left side, taking the corner, and Elward and Gilligan take him down well out of bounds. Definitely looking a flag on that is Tom Ryan and his sideline. So no call is called on that, even though it looks like a good blatant thrown out of bounds by Owen Gilligan. But either way, Brian picks up the first down.
They just ran that as a designed run. They pulled their right tackle on that play and opened up a big hole for him.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rangers. That is a handoff to Zach Bergeron, who will power through. They'll mark him down at about their own 30-yard line, bringing up 2nd down.
Bergeron is somebody whose name we've not called much today, but last game in the season opener against Malden Catholic, he ran for over 130 yards.
So it'll be a 2nd and 5 coming up for the Rangers Bryant looking over to Tom Ryan for the signal on what to call as he reads the defense a little bit more. He'll take the snap, and it's a read option to the left side. Bryant's got lots of space, but a great tackle by Tyler Keogh there to prevent him from getting extra yardage on that play, but is another Ranger first down.
It's interesting on that play. You had the Methuen sidelines calling for an offside. In the situation was Antonio Capello jumped, came back. Now last year that would be fine. You could jump offside and come back. But it's supposed to be this year under the new rules that it's a dead ball.
Well, we did not see that in effect on that one. Bryant takes the snap. He'll keep it again. Gaping hole right through the middle, as we've seen time after time again today. Bryant with another first down for the Methuen Rangers.
You know, the way that they run it, it's almost like a wildcat offense where it's just a direct snap, and he goes between the tackles, either right over the right tackle, left tackle, up the middle. He's just another running back there, and he's been getting huge yardage.
And this Methuen team has just been owning the line of scrimmage today. Bryant with another keeper, and why wouldn't they? But the Redmen come together on that one. They make a stop.
That time they looked to run the option to the right side, and it was a good read by Tewksbury. They had the pitch man covered, and Bryant had to keep it himself. Got a few yards.
Tyler Keogh with another good defensive tackle on there. Looks like it'll bring a 2nd and 6 up for the Rangers as they are chewing clock with just about 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Another direct snap to Bryant, but a great defensive play. Looks like Methuen is looking for a horse collar on that one, as Kareem Coleman has to be pushed away from the referee by Caleb Adams.
That was Riley Auth on that play, and they thought from their angle, like a horse collar. From this angle, you can see he just had the back of his jersey. He had the back of his numbers and pulled him down. But that was a nice play, and one of their better plays in trying to stop Bryant's ground game.
So Ryan in the offense, eating a little bit more clock here in the third quarter of play. And it looks like, just as I said that, Methuen will take a timeout. Their first of the second half.
This is a big play for Tewksbury coming up. Perhaps a good big couple of plays because, as we've been saying, to this point, they have not been able to stop the Methuen offense. The only 2 times in the first half that Methuen was stopped was when they fumbled the ball deep in Tewksbury territory, and then when they ran out of clock at the end of the half. And so it would mean a lot. It would mean a lot to the confidence of this Tewksbury defense if they can come up with a big stop here, either force a punt or get it turned over on downs.
I mean, this Redmond team, definitely the defense is looking completely different from last week, as they've allowed over 300 yards to this Methuen offense. And they've allowed more than 6 points today, as they've allowed 20 on the board so far. And we are not even through the third quarter yet. And included that the Redmen don't have a sack yet against Connor Bryant, as he's just been too shifty today. But it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. Bryant takes the snap. It's a jet sweep. It's going to be a double jet sweep. Back to the left side is Kareem Coleman. He's got lots of green field in front of him, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds by Shane Elward. But Methuen keeps chugging down the field, as there is a Ranger down at about the 44-yard line. Looks like number 76, Jordan Duran. That's going to need some attention from the athletic trainer.
Boy, you saw Coleman, and Coleman is walking a little gingerly back, too, at this point. Maybe a little winded, maybe a little dehydrated. But you see his blazing speed when you get him the ball in open space. And on that double reverse, he had a lot of green to work with. And he just has tremendous speed to get to the corner. and pick up the first down and move it all the way down to the 25-yard line. And Methuen is in business again.
And it's hard to stop a man that's just that fast when, he's running downhill and you're just trying to catch him, and all you see in front of you is just a bunch of dust. So
Shane Aylward with a nice play on that to play the angle and force him out of bounds, because if he had missed the angle, Coleman probably would still be running.
So Methuen is back with another first down and 10 from the Redmond 25, as we are just out a minute to go in the third quarter of play. So Brian will hand it off to Zach Bergeron, and a great defensive play by number 2, Will McKay, the junior.
That was a great play by McKay. He just fought off the block of Caleb Adams and just wrapped up the ball carrier. The player who was injured on that previous play was Jordan Duran, and it'll be interesting to see if he comes back. But Duran is another one of those big linemen, and that's a big loss for Methuen up front.
And we're going to see if number 43, Riley Off, who is going against him, can do that, as Bryant has nowhere to go, and it's a great defensive play by number 89, Richard Markworth.
And it's just a loss of a yard, but there's your first sack of the day for the Tewksbury defense.
And they've been waiting a long time for that one to get to the quarterback, as that'll do it for the third quarter of play through 3. It's the Methuen Rangers 20 and your Tewksbury Redmen 14.
The third quarter had a bit of a different feel to it in that both teams only got one possession in that quarter, and frankly that plays into the Redmen's hands in trying to at least slow down the Methuen offense, not give them too much of a chance to score. And now that you've got a 3rd and 15, this is the best chance they've had in quite a while to stop the Rangers offense.
So the Rangers definitely going to be looking to increase their lead as we head into the fourth quarter of play. They have the 20-14 advantage, as there was no scoring in that third quarter, just lots of rushing the ball and eating clock from both sides, but that's not exactly what the Redmen want to do when they're on the defensive side of the ball.
No, and this is key. They really do need to stop them here, get the ball back. At this point, now we're into the fourth quarter. You don't want to be falling behind by 2 touchdowns and really put the pressure on your junior quarterback, Ryan Rometta.
Rometta's not had the most excellent home debut, as we'd say, but hopefully he'll get a chance when it's only a 1-possession game, as the Redmond defense needs to come up with a big stop here. So to enter the fourth quarter will be a long 3rd and 15 for the Rangers. So looks like the Redmen are kind of just going to bunch up in the middle and hopefully not give anything up.
You've got Coleman on this side of the field, on the short side of the field, in single coverage against Nolan Timmons.
So let's
We'll keep an eye on him.
Definitely see if Coleman tries to go one-on-one against Nolan Timmons, who caught a 40-yard touchdown last week in the win over Needham and was a big defensive contributor last week as well. So it'll be 3rd and 15 to start the fourth quarter, and before that, Methuen's going to take a timeout. Their second timeout of the second half.
Well, clearly Tommy Ryan had something in mind on that play. Don't know if it was a trick play but just he had in mind something, and he did not like how the Tewksbury defense looked as far as matching up against what they had in mind. So they're going to talk about it.
Definitely wondering if Methuen's going to try to play the short game and gain just a few yards on this to make it an easier 4th down if they decide to go for it. Or if they try to get it back all in one play and gain that crucial 1st down that'll eat more clock.
You're right. That certainly could be what they're looking at here, is looking at 4-down territory and see if they can get back at least half of it, maybe 10 yards, bring it down to a 4th and 5, something manageable, or maybe they just heave it up and give Coleman a chance to get after it. He's one of the things he's got going for him. Not only is he fast, but he's also fairly tall. He's got a little bit of a height advantage on the Tewksbury defensive backs, and so if you throw it up there as a jump ball, he's going to have a bit of an advantage.
And we'll lock eyes on Kareem Coleman, who's in the same position. Never mind, he's going to be motioned out to the left. Bryant will take the handoff, and is going to be a screen play over the middle. The number 44, Anthony Romano on that play, the star linebacker, but the Rangers will only, I don't think they got anything on that play.
No, it was no gain, and what a nice job by Richard Markworth and the Redmond defense. They recovered, they read the screen and recovered very quickly to be able to make the play on Romano.
So with a 4th and 15 from the Redmond 30-yard line, the offense is going to stay on the field and try to pick up a big first down here. It's a play action. Looking through the middle is Bryant, and he's going to be taken down. A big stack for the Redmond defense. Looking there, looks like, see as they sort out the pile, number 78, Dylan Chandler with a big defensive play, joining forces with Owen Gilligan on that, and the Redmond come up with a big defensive stop on 4th down.
And Markworth in there again. Boy, that was a huge, huge defensive stop for Tewksbury. What a big play to come in, get the pass rush, and get the ball back. That's a big momentum swing right there, because now Tewksbury's starting the ball at their own 36-yard line, trailing by just 1 score.
And so Ryan Rometta, the tough home debut that he's been having, he's going to look for a chance to come up in the clutch right now as we are under 11 minutes to go. The final quarter of play as the Redmen trail 20-14 against the Methuen Rangers. Rometta in the shotgun formation, another low snap, but it'll go into the hands of Kaluolu, who will chug forward, and a nice gain to about the 37-yard line.
Kaluolu is one of those big, strong backs who does really well in the 4th quarter. He's got a physique that's built for endurance because he's stronger, he's bigger, so as opposed to some of the smaller backs, and so he tends to have a little more juice left in him come 4th quarter.
And definitely being the basketball athlete that he is, he definitely gets that endurance from playing both of these sports, as he will get another handoff here. And the Methuen line right there to stop him only got about a yard or 2. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Redmen.
Big 3rd down play here. It's going to be interesting to see if Brian Elward asks his quarterback Rometta to make the play here, maybe a run pass option. See if he can get the ball into the hands of Shane Aylward.
Let's see what he does here, trusting his junior quarterback. A move to Rigo in motion from left to right. He'll take the snap, and it's a handoff to Shane Aylward, who spins out of the tackle, and he will get the first down. Wow, what an athletic play from Shane Aylward.
We've got a flag on the play, however.
No, there is a flag back where the line of scrimmage was. Let's see if this is coming back or the Redmen get a first down out of this play. And it's not looking too good for the Redmen, as number 51, Stephen Arsenault, does not like the call.
Looks like they may have caught them for a chop block again. That would be the 2nd personal foul for a chop block, which for the folks at home basically means you can't go low when, and that's exactly what it is, personal foul for a chop block. If a defensive lineman is engaged with an offensive lineman, if they're engaged together, you can't then go low at his legs. And this has now happened twice, and that's a personal foul 15-yard penalty, which now puts the Redmen in third and a very, very long distance.
Yeah, so you can only go low if it's a one-on-one engagement. You can't tag team on that one lineman, and the Redmen have done that for the second time today, as it is 3rd and 20. And the Redmen trying to look to maybe even cut this in half to make it 4th down and around a gainable play, but let's see what Rometta does here. It's a play action, and Keogh's coming back for the ball, and he makes a great catch. And they're going to give him forward progress on that play, and they will get to the 34-yard line.
Well, this is going to be interesting now because it's going to be about 3rd and 6, and now it looks like the Redmen are going to punt.
So for the 3rd time today, we're going to see the Redmen punting unit, as they've had some tough time today on offense. And they're going to put their trust in the hands of the defense with just about 8 minutes to go in the final quarter of play.
That's too bad because they had really started to get a little momentum going, and that penalty really, really just stopped them in their tracks.
So the punt from Elward is high. It's going to be tracked down. Oh, and he dropped it, and it is recovered by the Redmen. It is dropped by Zach Bergeron, and it is recovered by number 23, Tyler Keogh, who just made that big catch and recovers the punt fumble. What a costly mistake from Zach Bergeron.
Wow, that is a huge mistake, and it looked like Bergeron did not signal for a fair catch. So it looked like he was going to try to do something with it, and that may have been the error because he might have taken his eye off it for just a second. Keogh is right there to pounce on it, and the Redmen are in business.
So the Redmen get another big break as Rometta will head back on the field with the offense. He'll take the snap under center. It's a double sweep to Shane Elward. He's got lots of room and will fight for a few extra yards, and looks like he'll give him the 1st down after fighting off Anthony Romano.
The Redmen have the Rangers back on their heels right now. They've got the momentum back, pounding away. That pretty little inside reverse to Elward has been successful all day long.
So about 7:20 to go in the 4th quarter of play. The Redmen are in business at the 20-yard line of the Methuen Rangers, looking to strike. Back under center is Rometta. It's a handoff to Kalu'olu, but a great play at the line of scrimmage is Caleb Adams to make the stop.
Caleb Adams will be credited for that tackle, but it's more along the lines that Alou tripped over his body because Alou just drilled him, just knocked him straight back. Wow, what a strong kid he is.
And the fact that Adams even was able to get, some piece of form of his body to stop him is even more impressive. That'll bring up a 2nd and 6 from about the 15-yard line of the Rangers. So play action. Rometta looking right. He's got a man coming from behind and is almost picked off. Very dangerous territory to throw that ball in.
That was almost a really big mistake because there was double coverage deep on Aylward, and Rometta really needed to just throw that over into the Ryan School, and instead it became very close to an interception.
But a very, very well defensive play from number 22, Andrew Downey, coming around the edge from Rometta's blind side, but luckily Rometta was able to throw it away and not lose any yardage coming up on 3rd down.
I think you're definitely looking at 4-down territory here.
Absolutely. They can't afford to take 3 points here. They need to put the ball in the end zone. 3rd down coming up. Rometta will take the snap with a big man coming right at him, and Romano got him at the shoelace tackle. Anthony Romano, what a big sack that is, and that is a costly error for the Tewksbury Redmen.
That was a tough play, and that was a big play by Romano. And he is a big-time player who makes big-time plays. And this is the 2nd week in a row he has been a real difference maker for the Rangers.
And the fact that that star linebacker is only a junior is very impressive at the talent that he has.
He seems to do a really good job timing the snap and shooting the gaps on his blitz. And
So
He
it's
makes
going
the
to
play.
be about a 4th and 12 for the Redmen here, as this is a must-needed first down. Snap to Rometta, looking
got a
over the middle.
man.
He's got a man, and it's picked off by Kareem Coleman as he had Dorigo over the middle. But a great defensive play from Coleman, and the Rangers will take the ball right back
That was number 4, Kareem
from the
Coleman.
Redmen.
What a tremendous defensive play by Kareem Coleman. You're right. Dorigo had 2 steps on the defense, and Coleman recovered, leapt in the air. That's that height that we talked about earlier, and just skied for the ball and made that leaping grab, and apparently fell down into the end zone. So they gave him a touchback, and Methuen will take over at their 20 with 5:28 to play.
I mean, he did have Dorigo right over the middle. Maybe it was just an underthrow, or it was just that great a catch from Kareem Coleman. And the Rangers have the football back with 5:28 to go in the 4th quarter.
Well, now the pressure once again is on the Tewksbury defense.
And Methuen's plan here mostly is to run out the clock as they will try to do that handoff. Brian will keep it on that one. He'll gain about 9, and that'll bring up a 2nd and short
Connor Bryant with the keeper.
for the Rangers.
Second down.
Good tackle by Patrick Letourneau. Could have been a much bigger play. But as you say, they're going to be looking to grind out these last 5 minutes if at all possible.
So we are exactly at the 5-minute mark to go in the 4th. 2nd and inches for the Rangers, and the Redmen need a big stop on this drive. Another fake read option, and Bryant will keep that one, and that'll gain a first down and eat more clock.
Tewksbury has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. This is where you start to see the difference in the new rules, where a team only has 3 timeouts per half instead of 5. It definitely changes some of the strategy in terms of when you stop the clock, how often you stop the clock, trying to hold on to your timeouts until as late as possible.
And that's a great point to bring up, is when do you start using those timeouts if your defense cannot come up big in a big moment like this? It's a first down for the Rangers, a handoff to the left side. He's got some room down the sidelines. That is Zach Bergeron. Will be shoved out at about the 39-yard line of the Rangers side of the field.
Boy, Will McKay almost got Bergeron in the backfield for a loss. Bergeron was able to shake him and pick up 5.
So it will be a 2nd and 5 for Methuen. Just about 4 minutes to go here in the final quarter of play. Bryant with the read option left. He's got lots of room, but he's getting tripped up by Will McKay once again, but that will give the Rangers another first down.
And that is you're gonna get a clock stoppage here for the 4-minute warning. So there's going to 3:54 exactly, but you will get the 1 clock stoppage. And now it'll wind again.
So Brian Elward wondering on the Redmen sidelines what he needs to do for the Redmen to win this game, and it's looking very bleak with the Ranger looking just to kill clock right now.
Well, that's really the issue. I mean, they've got some time left, but at this point, it's a matter of trying to find a way to stop the Methuen offense.
And right at the end of the play clock, Methuen's going to call their 3rd and final timeout at the half. Looks like they were just trying to kill the rest of the clock on that play clock to just call the timeout.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if that winds up playing a role later on. Right now, definitely not. But it does give the Tewksbury defense a chance to regroup here with the timeout. I'm a little surprised to see them. They had the momentum. They got a couple of first downs. They're looking to grind out the clock. And I'm a little surprised that Ryan would risk stopping that momentum.
The Redmen needing a big defensive stop. It is a new set of downs for the Rangers with 3:36 to go in the 4th. Looks like they're going to fill up the box on the defensive line, because that's what they're going to need to do to try to contain Connor Bryant right now. It's a read option to the left side. He's got lots of room. And he's still on his feet down the right sideline. And he will just dive down at around the 20-yard line. And that's going to eat more clock. And Rangers are now in the Redmond red zone.
Something that I just noted before the last play, senior left guard Jordan Duran back in the game. He had left earlier with a leg injury. Might have just been a cramp, but he is back in there. And boy, I'll tell you what, the difference in that offensive line when they've got all of their guys, including Duran, in there, compared to when they have a guy out. I'm sorry, not left guard, left tackle. It's a big difference. Big difference.
And Bryant with another keeper finds another hole up the middle and gets upended at the 12-yard line. And it looks like there will be a timeout called on the play. It will be taken by the Redmen, their first of the second half.
Well, they're in a tough situation now. Second and short. You're going to be seeing them try with just about 2.5 minutes to go in the game, trying to strip the ball, trying to get a fumble. Because at this point, they can't give up a field goal either. Right now, it's a one-possession game. It's 6 points down. They don't want to get 9 points down, so they really need a turnover at this stage.
They need to cause some sort of fumble, but with all the trickery that we've seen from Methuen, I don't even know how you stop it with all the threats they have right now, what they can do with sweeps and read options, and maybe it's just too much for the Redmond defense to handle today.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because one of the things about these misdirection plays that have been so well run by Methuen, you're not getting any clean shots. Tewksbury's a hard-hitting team, and you have not seen a lot of hard tackles in this game because they're just not getting clean shots at them.
No. So Bryant, well, another read option to the right side, looking for some room. Looks like he snuck through inside the 10 there. And that'll be a 1st and goal coming up for the Rangers at about the 8-yard line. As the clock continues to run as we just hit inside 2:40. Redmond, every single defender, hands on the hips, very tired from this long possession of just handoff after handoff, but how effective it is, it's just unbelievable. Bryant with another read option, trying to find some room through the left side. He'll get tackled by Antonio Capello. And after that, the Redmen will take their second timeout.
Good play by Capello on that play, and now he's looking a little dinged up, perhaps cramping himself. As we mentioned, 82 degrees at kickoff. You run into a lot of issues with dehydration. When you have dehydration, you have cramps. And I think we've seen players on both sides having to deal with that. But now the Redmen down to their last timeout here down at their own 5-yard line. And, you know, Bryant, at this point, Bryant isn't even risking a handoff. No. He's just keeping it himself and tucking it and staying low and not taking any risks.
And just keeping 2 hands on the football is very key right now, as he doesn't want to miss, some miscommunication or just a missed handoff, and just the QB keeper looking very effective right now.
Absolutely, keeping it very, very simple.
So since the Rangers are basically in field goal range in the 5, the Redmen are going to need a turnover right now. 2nd and goal from their own 5. Bryant with another keeper. Elward tries to tackle him down at the feet and be stopped right about the 1-yard line, as the Redmen will take their 3rd and final time out of the game.
You're right. I think it looks like they are marking that right at about the 1-yard line. You wonder at this point if, in terms of an opportunity to win the game, it might almost be beneficial for Methuen to score at this point, get the Tewksbury offense a chance to get the ball back, maybe score, get an onside kick, see what happens. But But at this point, Tewksbury now can't stop the clock again.
Nope, with 2:06 to go. And Methuen at the 1 yard line at 3rd and goal. Just lots of questions. Lots of, not more questions, more opportunities of what the Rangers could do right here. Just put the ball in the end zone and make it a 2-possession game, and then just have their defense just kind of sit on it, or just kind of eat more clock right now and keep it out of the end zone. So Bryant will take the snap. He's looking for more room, and he will be into the end zone. And Methuen has taken the 26-14 lead as the fans here at Doucette Field start to head for the exits.
Well, that play really kind of just epitomized the drive and a lot of this game. It was just very simple, and Bryant keeping the ball, going over his right tackle, and going into the end zone untouched to make this a 2-possession game at 26-14. And now it looks like they may be going for the 2-point conversion to try to make it a 14-point game.
So, yep, the Ranger offense still on the field here, trying to make it a 14-point game. As the snap to Bryant, he'll hand it off, and they are stopping. Looks like who got the carry on that one was Zach Bergeron, but the Redmond defense there to stop the 2-point conversion. 1:59 to go in the fourth. The Redmond trail by 12.
1:59 left in the game.
Well, it's not too complicated at this point. They're going to have to go to the air, look to try to get a quick score. Hopefully an onside kick is where they're at right now. But this is, an early season game like this isn't necessarily a bad thing for Tewksbury's overall goals for the season. Their goals are always to win the league championship, to get into the tournament, to get to Gillette. And this has, a game last week where they rolled over an opponent. You don't learn too much about yourself in a game like that. But a game like this, they've learned some stuff about themselves. They've learned some weaknesses. And they're not going to have an awful lot of time to regroup because, as we mentioned earlier, they've got BC High coming next week, and that is going to be a rough game.
They got to find some way to just stop the ground game, as we've seen Connor Bryant just literally take a hold of this game and just carry it.
Right, and you know that BC High has got scouts here. You know that other MVC schools have got scouts here. So they're seeing what Methuen did, and you'll see them try to emulate.
So it is another onside kick to keep the hands out of Shane Elward. It is recovered by number 22, Jake Kaiser. The Redmen will start the drive at the 40-yard line with 1:57 to go. They cannot stop the clock because they have no timeouts remaining.
No timeouts remaining. These last 2 minutes now belong to Ryan Remetta. He's going to be looking to put the ball in the air, and we'll see if he can do something with it.
And so Remetta with a 5 out wide. With looks like Methuen is only going to rush 3. They will. Remetta has to scramble out to the right. He'll find Elward. And he's got room down the right sideline to see if he can. And he will get some extra yardage and then step out of bounds to stop the clock. A great play that the Redmen needed from Remetta to Elward. A combination hopefully we can see for a long time this season.
Wow, it's surprising that they let Elward that wide open. But Shane Elward had about 20 yards of real estate in front of him. Gets a huge gain. But a nice job by Remetta staying away from Leslie Theodore, who was coming on the rush.
And a great block we saw out in front from DeRigo to get Elward. And it's another low snap as Remetta has to fall on top of it. And the Redmen, this as Remetta was pushed to the ground after the end of the play. No flag being called as
Wow, that's surprising. Leslie Theodore drilled Rometta and probably claimed that he thought it was a live ball, but he pushed him to the ground, did not get a flag.
So second and very long. It's a bubble screen to the left side to Shane Elward, trying to duck a few defenders. He's got lots of open room, but closed quickly in the gap is the Ranger defense with Adams and Coleman.
He wasn't able to get out of bounds, though. Clock's still running.
And see what the signal is from the referee is.
It looks like you've got an injured, looks like Nick Matthew, an injured Ranger, limping off the field. Again, might be cramping. Looks like exactly what it is. That's a break for Tewksbury. They get a stoppage of the clock. They can set their play. 44 seconds to go.
And they need to put the ball in the end zone right away if they want to even give themselves a chance, as they are at the Methuen 25. Another low snap. He will handle it this time. He's looking. And it is almost caught by Nolan Timmons. A great defensive play. There he is again, Ben Cadet. What a game he is having for the Ranger defense.
Timmons had his hands on that ball. He was set up at the 10, called for the ball to go deep, went deep, had his hands on it, and as you say, Cadet recovered and was able to knock the ball loose. A really, really nice play.
And a play that ate up 13 seconds of the clock. The Redmen definitely could have used to put that ball in the end zone, but it's just a normal incomplete pass. And the referee is coming over to the middle of the field to talk to his crew about.
I think we may have a question about what down it is, because after that last catch by Shane Aylward, the down marker was changed to first down, but it shouldn't have been. So, yeah, that's what we thought. It is a fourth down now. That was a third down play. So this is going to be fourth down. They have to convert on this or the ball game's over.
And with 32 seconds being shown on the scoreboard, the Redmen have to put the ball in the end zone right now. Rometta will drop back to throw. He's looking over the left side and is intercepted by number 44, Anthony Romano, who will just slide down. And Rometta's second pick of the game. And the Rangers come into Tewksbury and steal a conference road victory. What a performance by the Rangers today.
Well, we said it before about Anthony Romano. Big game players make big plays. And Anthony Romano has had a monster game defensively. We saw that last week against Malden Catholic. He had 16 tackles. He had 5 for tackles for loss. And now we've had a chance to see it in person. He is legitimate. He is clearly one of the best defensive players in the MVC. And he's led their defense today. And with Bryant on offense, this Methuen team is going to be a problem for every team in the MVC this year.
So Brian will take the knee, as we're going to stay for a little bit for a few minutes to recap the game. And the Redmen now 1-1 on the season after a tough home loss to the Methuen Rangers, as the Rangers will now move to 2-0 after the win today, and just an overall dominant performance from the Methuen Rangers.
It really was a dominant performance. Truth be told, Methuen left some points on the field. They had a couple of turnovers. They had that fumble in the first quarter when they were driving for another touchdown. They had the punt that was muffed. In terms of plays from scrimmage, it could have been a much bigger difference in the scoreboard. This is an impressive Methuen team. Tommy Ryan has got a squad here of a lot of playmakers on both sides of the ball, and now Tewksbury needs to regroup, and Brian Aylward needs to get his team to put this game in the rearview mirror and be ready for a rugged BC High team.
And as you mentioned that point, as they will host BC High next Saturday. There's definitely a lot of adjustments that this team needs to make, as BC High, ranked one of the top teams in the state, will get a crack at Tewksbury after Tewksbury took them down last season at BC High. But, big matchup next week that the Redmen really have to prove themselves after today's loss.
Yeah, this is going to be a character week for this team. It's going to be a character game next week to see how this team responds. As you said, they've got some key young players, newcomers in key roles, and they still need to kind of find their identity a little bit as a team. And Ryan Rometta continues to develop. But there are some positive things to take out of this game as well. So I think Brian Aylward has got a big week ahead of him.
Absolutely, as the Redmen will take on BC High this next weekend. Thank you for joining us for our first Redmen broadcast of the season. Unfortunately, the Redmen took the loss in this one as the Rangers defeat the Redmen 26-14 on their home turf. Again, I'm Andrew Delapiana, joined by Bill Gilman. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys next week.